The 2014 season was a major transition period for the Milford softball program. Aside from losing many of their core players to graduation, the team welcomed a brand new head coach in Steve DiVitto, who was taking over for Brian Mackey after he guided the program through 8 successful seasons and back-to-back state titles.
When Brian was here as the head coach, I was able to follow him and to stay in close contact with him and his sister Jenna. Her and I were really good friends when we were in high school, and so I was very familiar with the game. I followed my sister when she went to college. Obviously, coaching Legion in baseball for the majority of my life and playing it all my life, it's a very different experience, different in a very good way, obviously. Girls are very easy to motivate, and they enjoy being here. They make it fun, which it makes it enjoyable for everyone. And I'm very, very glad, and I was humbled with the opportunity, and I'm happy that I made the decision to apply and eventually to get the job.
Coach DiVitto had his hands full last year, taking over both the high school softball program as well as the town's Legion baseball team. I asked the coach if there are any major differences in dealing with a girls' team versus coaching the boys.
There's some. I can say that my demeanor, my attitude, the way that I approach talking to the girls as opposed to talking to the guys is obviously a little different. Different the way that I will talk to the Legion guys in the summer that I'll talk to the girls here during the spring. But I don't think it's major differences. I really don't. There's some few minor tweaks, like I just said, but other than that, no. They make it so much easier on me. I mean, they're so well conditioned, trained with their club teams that they play on, and through the the Milford Youth League, it does such a great job. Makes my job so much easier. They come up here, they're so well prepared. So that helps.
A coaching change can sometimes be intimidating for the players, but the senior captains on this year's team say Coach DiVitto made the transition a seamless one.
It was kind of hard at first, changing coaches, but I didn't play much last year because I broke my arm, so I haven't really played for DiVitto, but I've practiced with them, and I think he's made the transition a lot easier for us.
Playing for DiVitto, it was like you said, a transition, but he made us feel really comfortable. He made us feel like we were in good hands. He really emphasized turning the page, looking on what our job has to be done that day, not looking in the past. So I think that really helped us succeed like we did last year.
With such significant turnover on the roster, one of the biggest tasks for the coaching staff last season was making sure the team stayed focused even when things weren't going their way on the field.
I think the biggest transition for a lot of these girls were, the senior class that graduated, not last year but the year before, such a great group of leaders. So many girls have gone on to play Division I ball, Division II ball, Division III ball at a high level. And I think a lot of the program, and Brian will say the same thing. It was very dependent on their leadership for the last couple of years and such consistency that they brought. And I think that a lot of the girls were looking, where's that leadership going to come from? Who are we going to look to? Because a lot of the girls would look to that group of seniors because of how successful they were. Who are we going to look to? And seniors last year did such an amazing job with, taking the reign and that was very important. And I think the other thing, there was a little bit of a culture shock. 25-1 or 25-0 and 26-1, whatever it was 51-1 in 2 years. And now all of a sudden out of the gate we're 1-4, and we could have gone one or two ways, and that's what we talked about after the first 5 games. It was, we're only 5 games in the season here, but we can go one or two ways. We can continue down this path and feel sorry for ourselves, or let everyone else assume what they assumed early, that Milford softball was going to go in the tank, or we can turn it around and say we're not going to accept it, and they didn't accept it.
With leadership on the field proving to be such an important factor in the success of the Milford softball program, it would appear the team is once again in very good hands heading into this season.
I consider it an honor to be named a captain of especially the Milford softball team because of the success we've had in the past and knowing we both get to lead this team. And I'm really excited I know it's going to be a little challenging, but I'm excited to take on the challenge and hopefully succeed as much as we did last year and more.
I'm looking forward to just going out there and proving people wrong just like we did last year.
With the coaching staff now fully established and a roster filled with returning players, there won't be any transition concerns around the team in 2015.
This is 2 seniors, 4 juniors, so that's 6. 3 sophomores, so 9 returners from last year's team. A lot of those girls had a lot of playing time last year, and Atherton on the mound and Farrell on the mound too. They're sophomores this year, but they get so much time last year on the mound and experiencing the Hawk. It was very important, and a lot of these girls were playing the field, and the other thing I think that's real important too that a lot of people are going to overlook is having LeBrun back. Catching. She was catcher for the 2 state championship teams, and expecting a cog in the middle of the lineup. Her and Pierre Gustavo in the middle of that lineup. But I mean, that's as good a 3-4 combination as you're going to see, not only in the Hawk, but in my opinion, in the state.
As for expectations for this season, confidence is extremely high with both the captains and with the head coach.
I expect us to win a lot. Work together. Being in here today, it was definitely a help. We have the team together. And it's going to be a while before we get outside, but hopefully these days they're efficient, and I expect us to go deep into the playoffs.
I definitely expect to make playoffs this year. I want to make playoffs. I want to go far, and I just want to go out there, and I want us to be the best that we can be every day.
When we made the Legion schedule, I looked at the softball district playoffs and when the state semifinals and state finals were, and I purposely scheduled around those. Because I really think this team has a chance to be special. I'm sure there are people going to be listening or watching this and saying you're crazy. That's fine. I set high expectations not only for myself, but I think to set the bar high is very important, because if you set it low, then you're going to settle. And you never want to settle. You always want to shoot for the moon. And these girls are ready, and they're excited to reach those goals as well.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Coet. Make sure you check out full episodes of the Milford Informer on Milford TV. New episodes air every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. and then re-air frequently over the course of the weekend. Milford TV can be found on Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 38. And if you live in the Milford area and have an idea for a news story, you can contact us at news@milfordtv.net.